So Viscera Fest got a new demo recently. Yay! So, a couple things up front. First of all, the performance you're going to be seeing from the game and the video, this is actually on me. In-game itself, I had zero issues, settings are fine, ran well, smooth as butter. Unfortunately, I did not change my capture settings beforehand. This is all on me, so that's why you're watching it being about 30 FPS, resolution's not great. Yeah, this is literally all on me, it's my bad. Second of all, while I did not know the developer of Viscera Fest back when it was called Quarantined Viscera Fest, and I covered it a couple years ago now, I have spoken to him a fair bit since, so if me being buddies with the developer of the game makes me a little biased, in your opinion, well, just put that up front. But let's get to the actual meat of the discussion, the game itself. So, right off the bat, I was very impressed with the game's increase in production values. Right off the bat, very impressed with it. Runs smoother, looks better, more enemy variety, a more visual enemy variety. And I think the most surprising bit for the production stuff was there's like a straight up full cutscene at the very beginning with voice acting and sound effects and art, and it's like, wait, what? So yeah, like, just with that, I was actually quite impressed. And you actually get a fair bit of voice acting. There's some radio chatter throughout the levels. Some, back and forth between the protagonist, Caroline, who's, I'm guessing, kind of something between Caleb and Samus Aran at this point. So, yeah, there's a lot of back and forth, there's a few voice actors working on it, some radio chatter. Yeah, overall, I was very impressed with the production values, considering that this is just a very short, few-level demo. If nothing else, I was very impressed. And another thing is, when I first reviewed Viscera Fest, one of the things I did mention as a negative were there's some pretty notable bugs. The UI just dropping away sometimes was probably the worst of it. Ever since the dev changed the engine to Unity, I believe, I'd have to say like 99.9 repeating percent of the bugs, just gone, all of them. I had next to no issues while playing this. In fact, the closest thing to an issue that I ran into was I didn't pick up a single piece of armor that was a little too close to the wall. That's it. Like, it's the most nothing issue. I was very impressed with it. Again, especially for a demo, I was very happy with the fact that settings were quite well. You can adjust the FOV, windowed, everything. It's sort of what you would expect, but again, for a demo, like, there are AAA demos that come out that are lacking a lot of these features, so if nothing else, I'm very impressed with how well put together the package is, even in this early state. So yeah, props to that. So let's get into some of the stuff that I actually like, because overall, like, everything in the first video I said that I liked about the gameplay, it still holds true here. The way the dash works, I really like the different ways you can use the dash to boost your momentum, to get a sudden start to momentum. Say you're running for a bit and then you use it, the way you time it. One thing with the user interface, it's very, very good in this. It's clean, it's simple, it's out of the way, but you have every bit of information you need to know. So, okay, what's the cooldown or charge for the dash? Well, right next to the head profile, right there, boom. It's all clean, it's all simple, out of the way. You know how much ammo is in all your guns at all time by default. And we'll get to the ammo thing in a minute here. That's going to be the most contentious part of the gameplay, but we'll get to that later. But the user interface just is very slick. And just as a game, all the stuff I liked about it last time, still like here. I like how it's all projectile based. I like how fast everything is. I like how short the levels are. So it's like, it actually encourages the secret hunting and repeat playthroughs, because once you know what you're doing, it's like 2 minutes a level. It kind of gives me that classic Doom vibe where you can run through most of the levels in like episode 1, Knee Deep in the Dead, in like minute and a half, 3 minutes. But there's a shitload of things there, so you can spend, say on the first run, like 10 minutes going around trying to find every secret. I don't know if the full game's going to have that kind of style, but I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. Another thing about the gameplay I've noticed that is new is, well, I can't remember the specific phrasing in game of it, since it's been a little while since I played the demo itself, there's something of a currency that's in the game. Little collectible skulls, 100 per level, kind of like Mario coins. That's a weird comparison, but bear with me. But there's 100 of these little skull collectible tokens, and well, I can't remember the specific wording. Something like an in-game store? Like, again, like, if I screw up here, I'll put this in the edited video. Like, hey, you're an idiot, Future Doomed, but whatever. It's an interesting little addition, and I'd like to know what in the main game that's going to lead to. It's fascinating. Aesthetically, still like it. It definitely is leaning pretty hard into that Outrun aesthetic, which, if you don't like that, you're not, it's not going to win you over. But if you do kind of like that synthwave Outrun style, this is going to be your cup of tea. Everything's got bright neon. The soundtrack by one Markle Music, who I'll put his channel in the description below. He is doing the music for this game, and I'm liking it a lot. It's that Outrun synthwave kind of style. And if you dig that, it's some really good shit. I'm glad it's a shooter that's not going for the whole, heavy metal, pseudo Mick Gordon style. It's its own thing, and I'm liking what I'm seeing with it so far. Now, the biggest difference that I've noticed gameplay-wise, because I'm going to try and keep this short, since obviously the general takeaway is I still recommend this. I had a great time with the demo. I'm very much looking forward to the main game. But there's one aspect of the gameplay that has changed from the original demo, which I'm not sure how to feel about, and it's the ammo count. Now, there is a new melee system in the game where you can just instantly do kind of like a Duke Nukem style melee attack in the middle of all your gunplay, and the game does heavily encourage you to use it, mostly because the ammo count is insanely low. Now, I'm definitely of two minds on this. On one hand, I can see the argument that it kind of feels as if you're being punished for experimenting with different weaponry, which, fair enough. I can definitely see that being a frustration for some players who really just want to, go in, shoot guns, shoot first, ask questions later kind of thing. However, once I started to get a hang of it and you incorporating the melee into my movement patterns, I wasn't using anywhere near as much ammo to begin with, so I wasn't having issues with the ammo conservation because I started to realize, okay, resource management is going to be a major part of this game. I'm going to have to learn how to manage my resources effectively. So it's tied into the core gameplay itself, and a lot of enemies will drop health pickups, so it does encourage a little bit more of a riskier style with the melee. That being said, if you're the kind of person looking for a shmup and not you just want to shoot the guns, this might be a little more irritating. I like where they're going with it. I like the risk. However, I don't think it would be the worst idea to have difficulty selection where maybe there's an easy mode or like a slightly reduced difficulty mode for the sake of ego, because, I wouldn't pick easy for the sake of my pride, but like a mode that just has more ammo in general for those who kind of just want a shooter experience, not necessarily having the game deliver less challenge, maybe not, like, say how the enemies still are fast, they still do damage, they still are gonna wreck your ass, but maybe just have more ammo. It's like an optional difficulty mode. However, I noticed there was no difficulty modes to choose from at all in the demo. I don't know if that's going to be something added later. If not, I actually thought it was quite well done if they're doing one difficulty mode, period. Which, it's commendable, and I think the challenge presented as is, it's fair. I didn't have any real issue with it. I had a good time with it, and once you kind of get a handle of the systems, it flows. It just flows very well when you get a handle of kind of the way the game expects you to manage your resources and incorporate the melee and dash into all of your combat. And really, that's about all I have to say on the matter. Once again, is just kind of a general impressions. Highly recommended. Links in the description. But overall, yeah, I enjoy my time. I'm looking forward to the full release, and I will keep my eye on it in the future.